What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It's a random last minute stream, to be honest. I didn't really know what else to do. I just fancied doing a stream and chatting to you guys because I got nothing else to do tonight. I've watched a movie, a couple of movies. Well, I kind of watched one film and gave up on the second movie today. I watched a film called Pontypool, which is a really cool one location infection movie. I really recommend Pontypool. I thought it was a pretty much damn straight masterpiece, one of the best in the genre in my opinion. Then I tried to watch the 82 kind of like alien horror film called Extro, and it was awful. I barely got through maybe a half hour of it. Ended up turning it off because I just didn't think it was very good. I thought it was a bit gross. The actual effects were pretty bad. And such is life. But yeah. Such is life and such is movies. So I thought I'm not going to waste my time watching the rest because I'm not enjoying it after half an hour. So I turned it off. That's what you do, I suppose, with those kind of things. I'm trying not to be the kind of person where I have to watch the whole film. If I know I'm not enjoying it, then I just won't watch the rest. Me and Soph have done the same thing. We've put something on and thought, yeah, this is actually kind of rubbish. Let's not bother wasting our time watching the rest. What's the point? There is no point, to be honest. Just waste of time. So, obviously, when you're at the cinema, it's a different matter because you've paid for a ticket and you want to actually go and sit in and get the cinema experience. But sometimes that is not that great when you have to sit for a shit film. Thankfully, I've seen films where I've been mixed on at the cinema, but I've not seen films that I actually dislike. I think there was one movie that I came out and I thought it was absolutely shit. And that was a film called, what was it called? Slaughterhouse Rules, and it was utter fucking dog shit, and I hated it. I almost left the cinema with that movie because it was that bad. But I digress. Not many people on today, but I guess it's a Sunday evening and everyone's got to work, so maybe this wasn't the best idea. But what ifs? One film I did watch yesterday, first time watch. The most controversial film ever made, according to this DVD box, Cannibal Holocaust, the 1980 cannibal exploitation movie by Ruggero Deodato. I went into this, I think, with heightened expectations that this was going to be an absolutely brutal, violent movie, which it kind of is. There's not much, when it concerns the violence, there's not much involved. There's not much in terms of sequences of violence in this film, in my opinion. There's a lot of kind of walking around boardroom meetings in the film because it's quite a unique film in the way it's trying to. It's probably one of the first found footage movies ever made. And it does tell an interesting story to a point, but I feel like I think the whole reputation of this film kind of ruined it for me, and I think that's why I'm not overly struck on it. I did watch the animal killing free version, which means I didn't see any of the animals get killed, thankfully. Don't want to see that shit, to be honest. It didn't really affect the pacing in the movie, which is good. It just cut out those specific scenes. So I reckon Grindhouse Releasing really kind of found those sequences and cut them from just before they start and when they end. So you don't see anything, which is good. You don't even see the dead remains of the animals either. So this DVD is really good at giving you a version where you don't see those animal killings, which I'm really glad for. But when it concerns the filmmaking in this film, I actually thought it was done pretty well. I thought it had really good cinematography. It was shot really well. There is a 4K coming out in December from 88 Films, and I think this film is going to look spectacular in 4K. I think it's going to have a wonderful transfer. 88 Films are really good anyway when it concerns their transfers. So I think this 4K for this is going to be really, really good. But yeah, would I recommend it? I probably wouldn't. If you're a gore hound, maybe I would if you haven't seen this already. But if you're into your gore, you've probably seen this already. But yeah, it's a tough watch if you're not really into that kind of thing. It could be a bit of a hard thing to sit through. But I've seen so much violent media at this point that I think I'm a bit desensitized with the whole thing, really. So I don't know, like it's weird because like I was a bit scared to watch this movie because of its reputation. But when I did get around to watching it, it was just, I suppose, it was like, yeah, it's just there. It kind of just is, in my opinion. It is pretty brutal. There are scenes of sexual assault that kind of go on for too long, that could have been cut. You know, they're there for a reason. The whole story is that this documentary film crew go out into this rainforest to video how these tribes live and their way of life. But as they go deeper and deeper into this rainforest, you see the director of this documentary crew kind of become more deranged, more sadistic, and doing horrible things. And he kind of tells the story of, actually, it's not these tribes people that are the horrible, sadistic, savage people. It's actually these normal day-to-day people in Western civilization that are actually the dickhead bastards. And these kind of assault sequences are meant to show him kind of his real colours, but they go on for way too long. You don't need to watch like a 4-minute rape scene. It's just unnecessary, in my opinion. And you could watch that for 30 seconds and it gets the point across. That's the only thing I would say. There's scenes like that go on for too long that I don't want to see. Thankfully, I had the animal stuff cut out, which is good. Again, unnecessary things that they put in this movie that didn't need to be in there. But I'd say the actual background of this movie in particular is pretty much more interesting than the actual movie. The story about Diodato being straight up being arrested for obscenities because the people believed that these were real people being killed. They believed it was a snuff movie, and it's really, really crazy. He had to basically bring the actors into court, prove that they're not dead, show how they did some of the practical effects in the film. Crazy stuff with this movie in terms of its reputation and its actual history of it being made. I found that quite fascinating. That's probably the reason why I picked it up. This DVD in particular has got a bunch of special features on, absolutely tons of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty good release, I think, from Grindhouse releasing, and I'm really looking forward to getting that. Why is my camera going out of focus? It doesn't like the Cannibal Holocaust, guys. It doesn't like it. Come on, dude, focus. Focus. That's better. Yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on the Cannibal Holocaust. It's fine. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a lot tamer than I expected it to be, and I'm very glad that Grindhouse Releasing put out a version that didn't have the animal stuff in it, which is good. But am I going to give it a rewatch? I probably would, you know. I'm going to get a 4K. Give it a rewatch. You never know, you might learn to appreciate these historic horror films in a different way. I know a lot of people really like this movie and say it's a masterpiece. So yeah, looking forward to checking out the 4K and seeing how it kind of holds up on a rewatch, because it is a tough watch. It is oppressive. It is mean-spirited. But like I said, the history really fucking is really interesting. I'm going to get to the comments now. I think I'm rambled on a bit too much about that movie, but we have Harry in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Evening, bro. Hope you and Sophie are well. I'm very good. Sophie's in the chat, and I'm sure she will let you know that she's very good. Speaking of Sophie's here. She says, hello, you slag. I am the slag, I suppose. Slaggerous Anonymous. I've got to go and get treatment for being a slag. Sophie says, are you excited for the Stranger Things experience? I am excited because it should be really interesting. I think the actual free gift is pretty cool, but I wish it was an actual Demogorgon themed thing, which it isn't, but I digress. But I looked at my rota for next week, for not next week after when it happened. I've actually got like 4 days off in a row. So it's all working out. It's all good. I'm looking forward to my 4 days off and the experience of Stranger Things. Should be fun. We have Evander, Slayer Reviews. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I hope you're doing well. We have Pete of Playtendo Guy. Evening, Pete. I hope you're doing well, my friend. We have a Mike of Cinema Axeman. Is it Cinema Axeman or Cinema Axeman? let me know, because it's one word, so I don't know how you would pronounce it yourself. Well, Mike says, "Hey Jason, hope you're doing well. I recently picked up Last House on My Left remake on Blu-ray. Have you seen it? If so, what's your thoughts on it?" Now, I don't know whether I've come out and said this on a video or whatever, but the original Wes Craven Last House on the Left is a film that I think is just trash. It's a trash movie. It's out to shock. It's out to be as vile as possible. Probably the same thing as Cannibal Holocaust in a way, but there's something more kind of just dirty and grimy about Last House on the Left, the original anyway, that I just don't find it a piece of entertainment that I want to consume. I've seen it once, didn't think it was good, didn't like it. It's probably Wes Craven's worst movie, in my opinion. I know it's his first, that's probably why. The remake, I actually enjoyed the remake. By saying that, I watched it once. I saw it about 10 years ago, but I remember when I did see it, I really actually liked it a lot more than the original. But again, I'm the guy that tends to quite like remakes. But yeah, Last House on the Left, I quite liked it, the remake anyway. Yeah, so I hope you, if you haven't seen it, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments, Mike, if you've seen the original and what you think of that, because I don't think that's a very good piece of entertainment. I think it's a bit vile and a bit crap, if I'm honest. We have Double Bill Movies in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Evening, Jason. I still need to had Cannibal Holocaust. I did find the Anchor Bay release of The Last House on the Left. Have you got that version? I do. Oh, let me grab it. I actually found. I do. I got the sleeve version. I actually got this in a charity shop for 50p, which is all. I love finding Anchor Bay stuff in charity shops for so cheap. But yeah, Mike is probably now saying, "Jason, I think you hate that movie. Why'd you have it?" It's just This is for the collection, man. I've got a thing for Anchor Bay, the Anchor Bay label. They do, even their DVDs are really well done. I watched Dead and Buried recently on the Anchor Bay label, and that was a really good transfer. I've got the 4K on pre-order as well, that movie. But yeah, I've got this 50p in a charity shop with the split box. So I was really happy about that, even though I don't particularly like this film very much. But it's cool to have in the collection nonetheless. So says, any wooden pikes in Cannibal Holocaust? See, now, I swear, when someone's impaled on a wooden spike, it's called a pike. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe I'm incorrect. But yeah, Sophie's taking the piss because a pike is a fish. So it's like a wooden fish that they've impaled on, but I digress. It's a spike, Soph. Get over it. Like, I don't know. Things I know a pike is actually a weapon as well, so that may be why I'm getting confused, perhaps, but I digress. We have Dustin's MC in the chat. Welcome to the stream. They ask, I own this movie, the Grindhouse release version. Yeah, that's the DVD I've got. I would get the Blu-ray, but it's really expensive now. It's about £55 on eBay. I don't want to pay that for that movie. But the 4K from 88 is only going to be about 20 quid, so I don't mind paying that for the 4K. Dustin's asked, have you watched Titania? I haven't, but I really actually want to check that film out. I've heard it's really, 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 really interesting. So that's definitely on my radar at some point. Check that one out. We have a good old faithful here, Last Chance Ches. Welcome to the stream. My eye's gone weird. There we go. I'm better now, sort of. I think so. Gotta have a drink. Dilutable Ribena, not as good as actual Ribena, funny enough. Soph says, I am hoping the Stranger Things experience video we are going to make is going to be awesome. I mean, if we get if we get all the shots you want to get in the video, Soph, I don't see why it won't be good. It'd be really fun. Obviously, we can't shoot the actual experience. We can't have any cameras in the actual experience, but we can do it's like a vlog, almost like a vlog of the day, I suppose. I think it'd be fine, and it's going to be on your channel because you're more of a fan than me than the Stranger Things. I really like Stranger Things, but you're definitely more of a fan. We have Sean Sheridan. Welcome to the stream. Recently saw Nope. Got halfway through it. Not for me. Yeah, last half. Yeah, it's not for me. Okay, that's fair enough. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I had a lot of problems in my opinion. Especially when it concerns pacing. It had a lot of pacing issues, and it had things where you could cut it out. It's weird. Nope. I'm still going to get the Blu-ray and Nope. I still think it was entertaining, especially the third. The final third was really good. I thought. But yeah, I think it's gonna divide a lot of people. I do think it's Jordan Peele's worst movie out of the three he's done. Sean also goes on to say, "Last House on the Left is disgusting. Hate those movies. Like I Spit on Your Grave." I mean, I think Spit on Your Grave is a bit more tolerable, but I'm a bit weird. I just don't. It's weird. Like even if Last House on the Left, the original, wasn't as obscenely just gross, I think it's still just a shit movie. Whereas I think I Spit on Your I Spit on Your Grave, the original, is a really violent film, but I think it's a well made movie. Same with Cannibal Holocaust. Like there's a lot I could say about Cannibal Holocaust that's really well made. It just happens to be quite oppressive and mean spirited at the same time. Yep. So if it says it, remake boy, it's me. That is me, mate. It's fucking the remake boy. Yes, mate. Last Chen says, I'm looking forward to checking out the Saw experience. I forgot there was a Saw experience. I didn't realise. I don't know what that would entail. Would you have to do like a test and you would die? Maybe you won't come back, Last Chance Chairs. You might not even come back. You might just fail the test and die. Would you like to play a game? You'd be like, no, mates. I don't want to play games because it'll kill me, mates. Where am I? Ah, here we go. So my X-Man says, Mike says, thanks, Jason. I've heard a lot of people say they prefer the remake. I personally don't mind the original, but I understand it's not for everyone. Not watched the remake yet. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Mike. I really, really enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's a lot more grounded and more polished than the really low budget, grimy original. But I think it's a lot more tasteful than the original. It's still violent as hell, but I feel it's a bit more kind of you don't feel disgusting afterwards and just have multiple showers. Because that's how I felt after the original last House on the Left. I just feel dirty afterwards. Double bill game. What else is that for? Double bill movies. Fucking hell, I'm going mad. That's a nice slip on Last House on the Left. I have the Arrow box set too, and the remake. The remake is better than Wes's version. 100% agree. I didn't realise Arrow put out Last House on the Left. Did they? They must have done. If you got it, they must have done. Let me know if that's the old window box version, or if they've actually got a more modern Blu-ray release. Because I didn't even realize they had it out. To be honest, we have Jim Jam movies. We have Dudley. Welcome to the stream, James. Really appreciate you joining. James says, "What's your thoughts on the Disney remake of Neverending Story?" Joe, what? I didn't even realize they're doing this until you've just said it, just now. Is it actually a confirmed thing? Because that's the first I'm hearing of it. But just proof that Disney is completely creatively bankrupt. They're just doing remakes of everything now, and it's just boring. I'm waiting for them to bring back hand drawn 2D animation. Like that's the 80s and 90s. The 90s in particular saved that company from being absolutely destroyed. Those 80s and 90s animations saved that company. And I don't understand why they've just swayed away from it and just be like, oh yeah, Princess and the Frog was the last one. Now fuck animation, fuck 2D animation. If you don't know, guys, Disney are like the most evil corporation out there. They really are. There's a video called Disney is the most evil company, and it literally goes through their history of all the fucking shady shit they've done throughout their time. They are fucking disgusting, and I never want to fucking support them if I can. But I digress. James says, "Great to see you back on my lives, mate. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get my channel back in gear. I put out a review of Benny Loves You on Friday. Really happy with that review. Yeah, I think it had pretty good feedback, pretty good view count. Pretty happy with it. And I thought I'd do a live before the new week starts, as you do. Um, Last Chance Shannon says, "What's your thoughts on Disney's Wally getting a Criterion collection?" Well, I don't really care about Criterion collection that much. There's not a lot on that label that I have bought, to be honest. I've got a couple of releases coming. I picked up the Lone Wolf and Cub box set because I've wanted that since it came out, and I got it when it was reduced, so I'm happy about that. I've got Thin Red Line coming out because it's a great war movie. I've got the 50s Blob because it's a fucking 50s classic. So there's not much on the Criterion collection that really will kind of get me to part with my money. But I feel that this is going to do gangbusters for Criterion collection because I think having something like Wally, especially Disney title like Wally on Criterion, it's going to bring new eyeballs to the Criterion collection, and you may find that it'll bring new fans of movies that discover the Criterion collection and start maybe picking up titles from them and actually doing business with them. But this could open the floodgates for films we haven't even got releases yet from Disney. Like, I'm still waiting for an actual UK Black Cauldron release. So if they could get that and put that out, that's awesome. And you remember, Disney owns so much shit now. Can you imagine some of the awesome stuff that Criterion could put out if this Disney deal is for a long while, and because we don't know the actual ins and outs of this deal. It might just be Wally and that's it. I've not looked into it, so I don't know the actual kind of details per se. But if it's not just Wally, and imagine, I'm just wishful thinking here. Imagine if Disney want to work with Criterion and they sign a contract where Criterion can handpick what films they want to put out. Can you imagine just some of the obscure stuff that Disney owns from Fox and Marvel and stuff like that? They can put out some really cool stuff. But what I will say here, even though I'm just like spitballing ideas, Criterion Collection, Wally's a weird fit for me, because when I think Criterion Collection, I always think of really kind of art house movies, kind of more kind of artistic, kind of very kind of artsy, I suppose, movies. Obviously, you've gotten some other releases that are more well known, like Thin Red Line, for example, and The Blob, I suppose. More kind of traditional cinema kind of movies. So Wally's a bit weird, but I guess we see what happens. I mean, this is the first, what could be a first. Maybe they might have the whole Pixar line put out. We don't know yet, do we? Really? But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a really good get for Criterion. I think it's gonna give them. I think they're gonna make a lot of money from this deal, and I think it could really expand and open up what Criterion can get from Disney, and it'll bring them some. I think it'll just expose more people to the Criterion collection, and that is always a good thing. More eyes on your product means more sales of your product. But yeah, that's what I think about that. Anyway, I don't think it's a bad. I remember when this news was dropped, and there's loads of big Criterion YouTubers that are fucking going mental over it. Like, I just see it being recommended in my feed and stuff, and I'm just laughing, going like, it's. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's quite surprising, because I thought Disney was done with physical media completely, aside from the Marvel stuff. But yeah, I think it's a good get for Criterion. I think they're going to make a lot of money from this, and a lot more eyeballs on their on their name on their products. So it's a good thing, in my opinion. Sean Sheridan says, going to see Pearl, the X prequel with Mia Goth. X was the most overrated movie of the year, but I'm excited for Pearl from what I've heard. Yeah, I am. I wasn't overly struck on X. I do have the Blu-ray coming. I did pre-order the Blu-ray. I've got the Midnight Factory Italian release because I collect those. I collect for that label. So I've got that coming. So maybe I might change my opinion might change on a rewatch. But as it stands, I came out after seeing that film in theaters and thought it was okay. I wasn't overly struck on it. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe Pearl might be better, the prequel for it. But I'm not in a rush to see that, if I'm honest. But I hope you enjoy, man. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy it more than you enjoyed X. Because I know X is getting a lot of praise, but I didn't think it was all that, to be honest. Jim Jam says, "Yep, confirmed for 2024." Charlie Theron. Do you don't know who that is? I'm terrible with names, guys. See, that's the thing. Like I said earlier, like if that is real, then it proves that Disney are fucking bankrupt, absolutely bankrupt. And I don't understand. They must have bought the rights because obviously the original Neverending Story is a Warner Brothers movie, so Disney must have bought the rights. Obviously, I can't really comment until the film's out, until I've seen the film, because I'm probably going to watch it because it's Neverending Story. They might do something quite good about it. I don't know. Like Disney are hit and miss now. For example, I thought Lion King was crap, but I really liked Cruella, for example. So it's kind of like they're very hit and miss. You never know what you're going to get for Disney. Marvel's been shit for ages. But yeah, hopefully they'll be faithful to it, and it'll still be great. But obviously, with the original, you're gonna have nostalgia, you're gonna have childhood memories, and nothing's gonna ruin that, and nothing's gonna destroy that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. It just the only thing it just proves to me that Disney are completely creatively bankrupt. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing now, and all they want to do is remake all their classics that made them a household name to begin with, which is weird. I don't get it. Disney are fucking weird, and they're the most evil company in the world. Just let you know. Soph says, "I'm excited for Peter Pan and Wendy, but fuck Tinkerbell. She can go in the bin." Yeah, Soph doesn't like Tinkerbell whatsoever. Can you imagine, Soph, if Tinkerbell and Sue had a little hangout? They'll be the two biggest bitches on the planet, right? That'd be terrible. Anyway, Double Bill Movies says, the Arrow release is a hardbox version with a poster and whatnot, like the Hills of Ice sets. Oh, okay. I must have completely missed that. Completely. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the film, but I don't think I've seen that anywhere. I've never seen that in my HMV. I've never seen it in a CEX. Very strange, but I mean, it's cool, but I've not seen it about. Funny enough. James says, would you say Arrow is your favorite boutique label? I say this. Arrow is the label I have the most of. Like I've got a wall over there. Pretty much 3 shelves of it is Arrow. But I'm finding that as time goes on, there's less and less Arrow is bringing out that I want to pick up. And more often than not, there's stuff that I want that they put out years ago that you can't get, and it's really expensive. Like in America, they put out the yellow box set. It's going for hundreds of pounds now. Whereas we got the red box set, which is about 30 quid, which I've got. And now they're putting out a new box set called the black Giallo set, which I also want, but I don't want to pay stupid money. So Arrow's hit and miss, because we all know, guys, 80% of Arrow's releases are all shit. It's cool that they're putting out all the weird, campy, weird horror stuff. I love that shit, but we got to be honest. They're not putting out the highest quality of movies, right? They're putting out the which I appreciate, because I always, when this shit disappears, at least we've got shit like this, physical media to have these kind of films to be like, oh yeah, this was a film that came out in the 70s or whatever. It's shit, but at least I've got a copy of it, kind of thing. It's almost like you're what do they call it? You're preserving it almost. But yeah, I'd say it used to be my favorite label, but as I've over a few years, it's just declined. But I just feel like there's less and less that I want from Arrow. And like I said, the stuff that I do want is old stuff that before I collected Arrow, they put out and is worth stupid money. I don't think it's even worth it. Like 100 quid for the Giallo yellow box. I don't think so, guys, for some reason. And I'm never going to pay that for the Giallo box set. I don't know, with the boutique labels, like premium collection I used to love, but I feel like I've got my quota of those. I don't think there's anything else I want from that label, so I'm pretty much done with the premium collection. I'm really liking 88 Films. I think 88 Films are like top tier at the moment. They're smashing it out. They're always putting out stuff I want to pick up. So recently I've pre-ordered Maniac on their slashers collection, and I've pre-ordered the Cannibal Holocaust 4K. Recently picked up Drive on 4K, the action film, not the Ryan Gosling one, the actual Hong Kong action film Drive. They put out their first 4K was that on 88 films. So I picked that up. So there's always something on 88 films I want to pick up, whereas there's not much on Arrow that I want to get. So yeah, I'll say 88 films at the moment. It's probably my favorite, but if it's just a thing of like, are you putting out films I want to buy, basically? And if you're not, I'm not going to buy from you, I suppose. So that's with everyone, right? I wouldn't say Arrow is my favorite, but it's the boutique label I've got the most titles from. Pete says the Rocketeer from Disney on Criterion would be great. Maybe the old Love Bug movies. Get those lesser known Disney titles out. Yeah, that would be good. Like the Rocketeer is a really good shout. I used to love that film as a kid. That's a really good shout. Yeah, lesser known Disney titles would definitely be a big shout, I think, for Criterion. Whether they'll go down that route, I don't know. But you never know. Disney might already have like a fixed plan for them of what they want to do. We won't know until we know, I suppose. Last Chance Jazz says a Fantasia double pack would be a good fit for Criterion. That'd be cool. Not particularly a big fan of those movies, but that'd be pretty cool. I understand what you mean. More of a fitting, suited fit for the Criterion collection. Sean Sheridan says X was a decent slasher. I liked it. It's better than most slashers, but that's not a high bar for the most part. I was just shocked by the sheer praise it got. Like I said, I'm not saying it's bad. I just didn't really care too much for it, to be honest. But then again, that might change on a rewatch. A rewatch is always worth doing because your perspective might be different on a rewatch. I always find going to the cinema, coming out, and then actually sitting down with the movie at home when you're on your own, you can just chill out. I think it's a different experience on the rewatch because you're at home, and I think that you can really absorb yourself into the film in a different way. I don't know, I may be talking bollocks, but hopefully you get what I mean. So says Sue can also get in the bin. The moan, you bitch panda. Don't get me started. Fuck hell. Yep, totally agree. Last Shot Shan says 88 films have very strong releases. They're my favourite label. They're very good. I think they're top of the pile at the moment, in my opinion anyway. Would I say favourite? I don't know if I could say favourite because I don't think I buy enough from them. But the stuff I do buy from them when they put out the stuff I want is very, very high quality. So Sean Sheridan says, wrong fucking comment. Sean says, how many Blu-rays, DVDs do you own? I haven't counted. I would say probably in the 400 mark, maybe. Something like that. That's collectively. I'll probably have about, I don't know, like 50 DVDs in that as well. So, yeah, about 350 Blu-rays, maybe. I wouldn't know. If I broke it down, I wouldn't really know. But I've probably got about 50 4Ks, 300 Blu-rays, and 50 DVDs. That's just me guessing, just looking at my room. I haven't really got a clue. To be honest, I don't even bother counting. If I've got space for it, great. If I don't, I need to get more space. That's how I really work it out, to be honest. Double bill movies. Must sleep later. Thank you for joining the stream, man. Take care. Sleep well, my friend. Sean says I own a few hundred DVDs, I think, but I switched to digital about a year ago, so that's another couple hundred there. Fair enough, man. I don't really buy digital. I might rent a movie digitally to check it out, but I don't feel like I own a film when I buy digital. I feel like that can be taken away from me at any point. At least with an actual physical disc, I feel like I've owned it, and as long as I've got a player I can actually watch it. No one's taking the disc away from me unless I'm mugged, I suppose. Sean also says, I know a YouTuber who has 1800 Blu-rays / 4K, so beat that, laugh out loud. Is that, because I've seen the video, is that Cody Leach? Because I follow him and he's a great YouTuber and he has a big collection as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't care about size or beating someone's collection. It's just I'm trying to collect films. I'm trying to have a collection of films that I actually like and want to watch and want to check out and stuff, or like, you know, has a nice edition that I, you know, that I've already got. But if he puts out a nice edition that is like limited, I might want to get that as well. Like, what's the point of comparing your collection to someone else? Your collection is personal to you. There's no point to compare it to somebody else. So that's the way I see it anyway. Gary Hedges in the chat. Yo, dude, welcome to the stream. Sophie says, when we combine our collections, it's going to be crazy and we are going to need to trade some in. Probably. That is probably correct. Last Chance Shares says, have you picked up the 30th anniversary edition of WWE's SummerSlam 92? Just $9.99 for the DVD on Amazon. Same price for the Blu-ray. I don't buy WWE WWE stuff really. I've got the network, so I don't really need to buy it. To be honest, if I'm honest, that's just the way. I might buy the odd collection here and there and give it a watch and then might get rid of it, but I never really buy to keep them. So I probably won't buy that. Yes. Sean says, that is Cody Leach. When I heard that number, I was shocked. He's got a big collection, but I think he's got like a basement for it all. So he's got like a big space for it. Whereas I've only just got my bedroom, so I don't really have much of a space. I believe it's his basement. I could be wrong. It looks like a basement, like a big, you know, ground floor kind of area. But I'm only going by what I can see from his live streams and stuff. But yes, that is that news, mates. I'm at the end of the comments, guys. I'm just gonna get lost. As I say that, more comments come in. Sean says, do you like Forrest Gump? I must be the only person in the world that's not overly fond of it. It's all right. It's all right. Like, do I feel like I need to have it on physical? No. Am I in the urge to ever rewatch it ever? No. Yeah. I'd rather watch Tom Hanks in The Terminal over Forrest Gump because The Terminal is a great movie. Sophie's, oh god damn it. Soph says, do you wish you had a basement? I could lock you in. I don't really want a basement because that's where most people get their floods in America, with their basements. So if I had a basement with all my stuff would get fucking ruined. So it'd be stupid. Stupid idea. Stupid idea. Peace and quiet. Yeah, from her. Yeah, I know. I know. Last Chance Shares. What am I doing? So it says, I need to watch The Terminal. Yes, it's really good. I recommend it. Sean Sheridan says, another movie everyone loves, I don't like, is Fargo. Those accents drive me insane. I've not seen Fargo, but I just received it on DVD as a subscriber mail, so I will be watching it at some point soon. But we'll see. I know there's a TV series as well, right? I think there is. Is it like a Netflix show? I could be incorrect, but I'm sure there was a TV show of Fargo. But the movie I've just got as a subscriber mail on DVD. So I will be checking that out soon, sometime. So says, I told you I annoy you with love and affection. I guess so. I guess so, my love. Once again, at the end of the comments, now I'm lost. I'm always lost with these kind of streams. Always lost. Just seeing if I can get someone to jump on and have a conversation with somebody. Who could it be? This is terrible. I'm terrible at this. Okay, more comments. Hurrah! Sean Shirley says, "Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Those accents would make you question watching movies. Laugh out loud." I'm gonna watch it because I've always wanted to see it for one, and also it's a subscriber mail, so I feel compelled. I've got to. Whether I watch it anytime soon is a different matter. It might take me 10 years. Where is this person's fucking thingy, Bob? I need to bloody message them. I'm going mad. I'm going mad. I'm going mad. I'm going mad. You could also chat with Steve. That'd be weird. Soph says, Kenneth Branagh in Wild Wild West does my tits in. Just Wild Wild West in general does my tits in. Fucking terrible movie. Utter shit. Sean Sheridan says, The Batman or The Dark Knight? I've seen a lot of debate which one is better. I'm a bit biased because Matt Reeves is the Batman. Is a Batman film. I've been waiting for that kind of Batman movie for fucking years. A proper detective noir Batman. And yeah, I just thought it was absolutely spectacular. Fantastic. Loved it. Thought it was great. I think The Dark Knight is a bit overrated at this point. I think it's a bit not as good as people rave that it is. So I'm a bit biased towards the new one, if I'm honest. But the thing is, I find that people forget that Batman is a fucking the world's greatest detective in the comics. In the comics, he's like a fucking detective. And that's what I loved about this new movie. It's very, very much focused on, a crime noir. It's not so much really that focused on like the action and stuff. I like the story. I like the look. I thought it looked great. I loved the way they opened the movie, and it's got Bruce Wayne explaining how the fear of the Batman is his ultimate weapon. Sometimes he doesn't even have to engage for the criminals to be absolutely shitting their pants. And I loved that opening for that movie. I thought it was fantastic, and I just think it got better and better when they introduced the Batmobile. It was fucking epic as hell. The whole movie is just so good. Like, it may have dipped a little bit towards the final act, a little bit, but overall, I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. I loved that movie. Really, really loved it. I haven't picked it up in physical yet because I've got to figure out, when will I legitimately have 3 hours to spare to watch it again? But I digress. I think, Soph says, no, Wild Wild West is a great movie. You get in a tiny bin, you slag. No, Wild Wild West can get in the bin because it's the slaggiest of slags. Pete from Playtime Guy says, the Fargo TV series was pretty good. One season saw Ewan McGregor playing 2 or 3 different characters. The first season with Billy Bob Thornton is probably my favourite. Okay, cool. Is it on Netflix though, Pete? I'm sure it's a Netflix show. I could be wrong. So it says we need to finish The Mandalorian. Yes, we do, because fucking season 3. Season 3, people. Fucking get in season 3. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Sean Sheridan says, I think they are both as good as The Dark Knight. Both as good. The Dark Knight is in my top 3 movies of all time, but The Batman is just as good movie, and a better Batman movie in the sense more focused on Batman. Yeah, I think he's in literally every scene in the movie. I could be incorrect, but I'm sure he's in the whole movie. They don't really break away from Batman in the Batman. which is good because he's called the Batman. So you would hope he's in it. Cough, cough. We have Terrence in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Losing my voice a little bit now, but I'm pretty good. Thumbs up. Boom. There you go. Thumbs up. Sean Sheridan says Dark Knight has a better bad guy, though Heath Ledger as the Joker will never be topped. I think I agree. I I have a soft spot for Jack Nicholson, but that's probably my childhood speaking, because I've got a massive nostalgia for that 89 Tim Burton Batman. I love that movie. Obviously, it's a bit hokey now. You go back to that film, it's a bit hokey. But I've just got a thing. I've got a soft spot for Jack Nicholson as a Joker. But when it concerns grounded, realistic Joker, Heath Ledger knocks it out of the fucking park, and he's scary as well, which is always good for that character. So says, I'm going to make you watch Wild Wild West and Inspector Gadget. Now, I might kill myself because they're probably the two worst movies of all time. Two of the worst movies of all time. Wild Wild West is awful, and the live action Inspector Gadget is fucking even worse. Holy shit, that movie sucks. Don't you start Pete either, you fucking slag. Fucking Inspector Gadget's fucking awful. I hate that movie with a passion. You wait, I'm going to get all these subscriber mails of fucking Inspector Gadget now. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. So says, love, in case you did not know, Terrence is my favourite human. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. I mean, it could be for your favourite human, but at least I'm your man. That's what matters. That's all that matters. Pete says, what movie franchise have you yet to watch and want to get into? Harry Potter, I suppose, because I've not seen any Harry Potter movie. Yeah, Harry Potter. I've not seen any Harry Potter movies whatsoever. I've only seen the first two Fast and Furious, and I've heard, the middle chunk of that franchise is pretty fun, so I wouldn't mind checking those out, but I'm not in a rush to see those. I haven't watched any Hellraiser movie after the third one, but I've heard they're not really worth it, to be honest, so that's good. There's not really no any other franchises I've not seen that I want to see. Can't think. But yeah, Harry Potter, Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible, maybe. I've not seen those movies. I've seen the first two Mission Impossibles, but I've not kept up with the rest of those. Terrence says, seen way worse than Inspector Gadget. I mean, I've seen worse, but when it concerns a big budget Hollywood production, Inspector Gadget is fucking terrible. I've seen really bad low budget shit, like, you fucking get on the dark web, but when it concerns a massive fucking Hollywood production, Inspector Gadget is one of the worst. It's fucking awful. Everyone's starting. Don't start, Sean. It's fucking terrible. It's not awesome whatsoever. It's fucking awful. It's fucking terrible. Don't start. Oh, look, everyone's going at it now. So says everyone send him copies of Inspector Gadget. No, because send me them. Now I can start a bonfire and just burn them all. That'd be great. It'd just be a waste of postage for everyone sending them to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh god. Terrence says, I'm not human, I'm a Scottish vampire. So you live by night and drink blood. That's amazing. Just don't drink my blood, because you might get food poisoning. So it says, yes, you are a man, I love you. You, enough now, cringe. Romance. Blah. Sean Jr. says, I'm joking, haven't seen it since I was 7, so over 20 years ago. You don't want to rewatch it, by the way. It's fucking dreadful. I'm showing. Sophie says I'm showing our future child Inspector Gadget, and they will love it. They won't. They'll fucking go, Dad, what the fuck's he showing us? It's fucking terrible. And they will use that language to ask the question as well. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? They go, what is this shit? Where's my Dragon Ball Z tape? That's what they'll say. Where's my Dragon Ball Z DVD? Give me that. I want to watch that instead. Where's my Godzilla collection? Let me watch those instead. This is shit. That's what they'll say. So they'll be like, Dad, what is Mum on? We need a fucking. You need to put on Godzilla. This is shite. I was like, great, put Godzilla on. That's what happened. If we have children, they're going to be brought up on Godzilla, Critters, Dragon Ball Z, all the good shit. All the good stuff. Thundercats, Transformers, all the good stuff. The animated 80s Transformers, just FYI. The good shit. Sean Sheridan says, should watch the Wrong Turn franchise, the greatest slasher series ever made, laugh out loud. That's the joke. Other than the remake, they're all trash. To be honest, I've not seen the Wrong Turn franchise, but I have seen the remake, and the remake was fucking dog shit. Sorry, but that's actually how I feel. I thought I didn't like it at all. Sorry, Sean, but I didn't like the remake. Usually I'm the remake boy, but the Wrong Turn remake, didn't like it. I'm being serious, I didn't like it. But then the guy said, you think Inspector Gadget is bad? Try Inspector Gadget 2. No, that's awful. I mean, they're both shit, aren't they? So why does it matter? Well, why does it matter? They're both shite. Terrence says, I only drink the blood of junkies so I can get high by proxy. Fucking hell. You've got all your priorities sorted then. One thing's fucking hell. Never been to Scotland, but I've always wanted to. Maybe I won't now because I might fucking get some kind of weird drug addiction. Sophie says, gotta show Masters of the Universe. The movie or the show? Because the cartoon's great. The movie, it's kind of good bad, but it's still kind of bad. Sean says, fair enough, the remake is not winning the Oscars, but it's the Shawshank Redemption compared to the rest of the franchise. I will give you this though, right? Didn't like the remake, but the last 10 minutes, the ending was fucking great. I really liked where they took the ending. I thought it was really, really good. I'm just upset that you've got to watch like 90 minutes of the film to get to the ending because I didn't like the rest of the movie. I didn't like, but that ending was really good. The last 10 minutes, great. The rest of the movie, not good, in my opinion. Of course, you know, you're free to enjoy it as you will. Yeah, the Masters of the Universe movie is one of those. It's like Cannibal Holocaust. It's got a wonderful history behind it. The Masters of the Universe. I think it killed canon films, as far as I'm aware. Like it was their last true like. This has got to succeed, and they try to be Star Wars in it. If you look at that film now, it's trying to be Star Wars really hard. But yeah, it's one of those films that I kind of got nostalgia for because I saw it as a kid, but it's really bad. But I probably will still watch it because it's got nostalgic value to me. So it says, let's go to Scotland and go see Terrence so I can fangirl. Maybe. But I do want to go to Ireland and meet Keith and go to Newcastle and meet John from Mondo at some point. That'd be cool. I'm at the end of the comments again, so now I'm stuck for content. Just watch me drink some Ribena. Yay. Sean says, slashers in general are rough watches, minus maybe the Scream franchise. And the new one was overhyped for me. I just felt like the new Scream film was just played it safe, pretty much. Played it safe. It didn't really take too many risks. Yeah, sure, it killed off one of the main characters, but we kind of saw that coming anyway, really. So, yeah, I don't know where the franchise is going to go without what's her name? I forgot her fucking name because I'm a fucking retard. Yeah, without Sidney Prescott. I don't know where the franchise is going to go. But I remember fucking marathoning the first 4 back to back, and by the third one, you're fucking done with that. You're done with that formula because it follows the same shit for every movie. The first one's great. The sequel's pretty good. Scream 2, I think it's a pretty good sequel. But after that, it's just like, what the fuck is this shit? It's just getting just the same shit. How this one person, Sidney Prescott, can how this same shit can happen to her over and over again. It becomes unbelievable at this point. It becomes unconvincing that this same stuff can happen to her on 5. You know, obviously in the 5th one, it doesn't happen to her. She turns up for it, almost like she turns up when it's happening to somebody else. But the fact that it kind of happens to her in 4 separate occasions is just a bit ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know, like, I understand what you mean. Slashers in general are rough, but I kind of love slasher movies. Like, I love most of the Friday the 13th movies. I think they're all fun. I really like Nightmare on Elm Street. I've only seen the first 3 Halloweens. I've seen the 2 Rob Zombie Halloweens and the new ones. Halloween 1, 2, and 3 are pretty good. The Rob Zombie ones are not good. Halloween 2018 was actually pretty decent, and I didn't like Halloween Kills whatsoever. I can't think of other slasher movies, or at least franchises anyway. But yeah, most of the slasher genre is a bit rough, especially when you know they're trying to jump on the boom of like Halloween and Friday the 13th. When you know they're just trying to jump on that gravy train, they put pretty much no money into their budget and they just make it as cheap as possible. That's when you know it's just going to be a shit show. But I've seen some good ones over the years, and they're all usually from the 80s, because I don't think slashers are very good from the 90s. I think horror in general in the 90s isn't very good. There's a handful of films you could pick, like, Child's Play 2 is really good, Candyman, Scream. I like Wishmaster, really love that film. That's a really underrated horror film from the 90s. But in general, I think horror kind of almost went downhill in the 90s. Scream is almost a saving grace for the 90s for horror. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the 2000s, the 2000s horror, because that's when I really got into horror, was 2000s. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I see what you're saying about Scream. I do think it was a bit overhyped a little bit. Played it a bit too safe. Played it a bit too safe for me. We have VHS Mikey in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Hey, media fam. So says, my love, Mikey is a legend. You will get on great. Awesome. I'll get on with everyone. I don't have problems with anybody. VHS Mikey says, enjoying your thoughts. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's just me off the cuff, just talking shit, basically. So I'm glad you're enjoying my bullshit, I suppose. Sean says, I'm pissed I finally bit the bullet and bought Everything Everywhere All at Once this week. I found out it's on Amazon Prime. Laugh out loud. See, like, I haven't bought that yet, but I love that movie. I think it's one of the best films of the year. I thought it was fantastic. It's the multiverse movie Doctor Strange should have been, because it goes there, it goes out there, it goes into weird places, which I wanted the multiverse film to do. So I think it's one of the best films of the year. It's one of the best A24 films ever. It's one of the best films they've made. But yeah, I felt like the 4K, the Blu-ray, are way too expensive because you've got to import them. And yeah, to buy it and then realize it's on Prime is a bit of a piss take. But I feel your monetary pain, my friend. So says Wishmaster can go in the bin. No, it can't. You've got to wish for it to go in the bin, and then you'll probably turn into a bin, and then he'll just laugh at you. So yeah, maybe not. Wishmaster is a fucking 90s horror fucking hidden gem, my friends. I love Wishmaster. It's so good. What's not to like about Wishmaster? He fucking turns Kane Hodder into a door and then walks through him. It's awesome. It's awesome. Do you wish it? No, I don't, because you'll probably kill me, you slag. Terrence says, and no one talks enough about Wishmaster. Exactly right. Wishmaster's awesome. I don't really know about the sequels that much, I've not seen them, but the first Wishmaster is fucking awesome. Andrew Divoff just hams it up in all the best ways, man. In all the best ways. The bit where he fucking shoots himself in the shoots himself, and he like it all heals. He's just like, was that satisfactory? Just to let you know that hurt like hell. So good. I love it. I fucking love Wishmaster. It's so good. I love that movie. VHS Mikey says, I was watching full moon movies in the 90s. I'm guessing that is a production company. I'm terrible with studio names and stuff, by the way. Sean Sheridan says, do you like the Halloween franchise? I think I answered that earlier. I did mention it. I do, but I've not seen the middle chunk. I've not seen. So I've not seen Halloween 4, 5, or 6. And I don't think I've seen Resurrection, but I've seen H20. And then the others, like the Rob Zombie ones and the new ones. I think it's very hit and miss, in my opinion, the Halloween franchise. Very hit and miss, from what I've seen. Because the first one's a classic. The sequel is on par with the first one. Number 3 is a weird kind of like separate thing, but it's quite fun. Rob Zombie films are shit. The new 2018 reboot was really, really good. And then the new one wasn't very good. That's how I rate those. Soph says Wishmaster sounds like Emperor Palpatine. End of. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. That's it. That's end of. Really, he just doesn't. Your ears are wrong. If he sounds like Emperor Palpatine, then I must sound like Mickey Mouse to your ears, because he doesn't sound. Your ears are wrong, man. Your ears are wrong, man. Oh boy. Oh, I can't do Mickey Mouse. Fucking hell. That's YouTube 101. I don't know what he's referring to. Mikey, let me know what you're referring to, because I'm a bit confused. Terrence says, I hear Pearl, the sequel to X, is good. Pearl is actually a prequel, if I'm correct. I think it is a prequel. Oh yeah, so says Terrence, it's a prequel to, it's a story of Pearl and how she become the villain. VHS Mikey says, I love Wishmaster, it's fun. Yes, it is. It's 90s cheese and all the best for it. Haha. Sean Shonian says, never seen Wishmaster, own it though. Mate, it's so fucking good. You need to watch that soon. It's so fun. It's 90s cheese, but in all the best fucking ways, man. Oh, so good. Soph says, Wishmaster was alright, but nothing special. Meh. Says the person who likes fucking Inspector Gadget. Whatever. Fuck. I prefer Demon Knight. I really like Demon Knight. Demon Knight's really fun. Tales from the Crypt movie from the 90s. I don't know. I just think I prefer Wishmaster solely on nostalgia basis. I watched that when I was young, so probably that's why. Demon Knight's really good though. I want to get the Scream Factory Blu-ray of that at some point. Sean says, I thought the Cube was a decent concept, but the characters were dog crap, I thought. Are you talking about the film Cube? Because I love that movie. I fucking love that movie, by the way. Cube is really good. It's like Saw before Saw. It's weird. It's like Saw. It's like Saw is like an amalgamation of Cube and Seven, and they kind of put them together because there's a lot of elements in Cube, but you can tell that kind of found its way into the Saw franchise. We have the person with the best name on YouTube, Dr. Impossible of Counterpunch 1984. Welcome to the fucking chat, my dude. They say, try Dolls, and you thought Chucky had problems. See, I thought Dolls was all right. I don't really feel I need to rewatch it ever again. I thought it was just okay. A bit weird. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I just thought... I just thought Dolls was all right. It wasn't anything special, in my opinion. Sean Sheridan says, Halloween 5, 6, and Resurrection save your time. They are trash. Halloween is one of the best series. Great slasher movie with a chilling ending. Yeah. It's just, it pretty much created the slasher boom, right? It's just so iconic to this point. Even the soundtrack's iconic. Oh, okay. Sorry. He's adding Halloween 4. Sorry, is one of the best in the series. Okay, maybe I should watch that one. I've not seen that one yet. Terrence says Inspector Gadget versus Wishmaster. That's an idea. Soph says I will watch Inspector Gadget while you are at work next time I'm over. I mean, you can, but I just don't want to watch it when I'm here. Soph says I want to see Cube. You need to get a version we can watch. Yeah, there is a Blu-ray. I need to get a Blu-ray, to be honest. I wish there was a Blu-ray set because I quite like the prequel, Cube Zero, as well. The sequel, Cube 2, is shit. But Cube and Cube Zero are pretty decent. Terrence said, anyone seen Cypher by the same director of Cube? I think I had that on DVD years ago, but I've not seen it. Maybe it's something I need to check out. How would you sell that movie to me, Terrence? Let me know. Sean says, Cube, yes, great concept, but the characters were so annoying. I quite liked all the characters. I thought it was I think they were annoying on purpose because they're in that they don't like each other, but they've got to work together. I'd be annoying too, to be honest. Soph says, would Cube be like escape room with like deadly traps, etc.? I've not seen Escape Room, but I'm guessing it's a similar thing. Yeah, probably similar thing. It's just these people are in cube-like structures and they are connected by other cube-like structures, and it makes up a giant cube with loads of different rooms. And some rooms are booby trapped, some rooms are not. So it's about this group of people that bump into each other as they're exploring the cube, and they've got to figure out which cube is like triggered into a booby trap and which isn't. And they're trying to figure out their way out of the cube. But yeah, I think it's a really good movie. I really like that film. Terrence says Cypher is a weird spy thriller, quite original, and it has Lucy Liu in it. Don't want to give too much away. Awesome. Does it have a Blu-ray? Let's have a look. I know it's got a DVD because I used to have the DVD, but never actually watched the DVD. Story of my life, guys. Having something and not watching it, I'm terrible. What's it called? Cypher Blu-ray. Oh, here we go. Yep, it has a Blu-ray, but I'm not paying what they want. So there's a German Blu-ray, but on eBay it's £43. They can fuck right off. What about a DVD? How much is a DVD? It's got to be cheaper than a fucking bloody Blu-ray, surely. Okay, that's more like it. So I can get the DVD for about £2, which is pretty good. £2? Is it worth £2, Terrence? Let me know. Is it worth the £2? Let me know. Is it worth £2? Soph says, yeah, I'm sold. I want to watch Cube. Awesome. We have the ball trap from Bournemouth, Jamie Powell. Hello, Bo. Hope you're well. Cube is good, but the sequels weren't to scratch. Met one of the girls from Cube at Comic-Con. She wasn't happy at the time. Have you seen Mary and Max? It's fantastic. I've not seen that, if I'm honest. I don't know what that is, if I'm honest with you, Jamie. But oh, by the way, Jamie, that movie, I forget what movie you said you saw. Was it called Charles and Brian, or Brian and Charles? Whatever it's called. I watched the trailer. It looks awesome. I'm probably gonna pick up the Blu-ray. It looks well funny. There's the trailer. So this film, Charles and Brian, I think it's called. Jamie can correct me if I'm right or wrong, but it's about a guy who builds a robot out of a washing machine. And in the trailer, it's just so funny. Like, I need to see the film now. The trailer sold me immediately. Absolutely immediately. Dustin's MC says, I have the first 5 Halloween films Scream Factory put out. I have the other 3 pre-ordered. Yeah, I didn't bother with those because they were just so much money. So much money. I've got the Midnight Classics box set, which is just, it does me fine, and it was pretty much so much cheaper to get. Terence says, doubt you'll have a Blu-ray. I've forgotten that, there is a German release, but it's like 40 quid. I'm not paying 40 quid for a film I've not seen. Sean says, Cube was better than most Saw movies, but not a high bar other than Saw 1, 2, 3 and Spiral. They are all pretty bad, except Saw 6 maybe. Yeah, I think for me with Saw, I think it's literally Saw 1 and 2 for me. I don't care about any others. Saw 2 is my favourite. Out of the franchise, Saw 2 is my favourite. I think Saw 2 is great. Saw 1 is pretty good as well. Yeah, I didn't really care for Saw 3. I don't care for any of the other ones. But if they're on TV, I'd probably watch them, if that makes sense. They're kind of easy just to, in the background, just watching them. Terence says, it's well worth a watch. Nice. Jamie says, yes, mate. Jamie also says, the film is called Brian and Charles is my film of the year. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw the trailer and I just thought it looked hilarious. Looks hilarious. This life says, me, the Crazy J, and then Brett Rooney. Fucking who, mates? Is it a fucking dickhead? Because I don't do fucking dickheads, because they're dickheads, mates. So it says, Brian and Charles looks great. Sean says, or asks, are you a James Bond fan? I am not. However, I have just bought the Daniel Craig movies on Blu-ray because I've heard that they're the movies that really have a proper character arc for Bond, and that really intrigues me. So I'm going to check those out at some point and actually hopefully have a really good time, because I've heard they're pretty decent. Jamie Powell says, Mary and Max is really brilliantly written, very, very funny original. It's an Australian claymation that has a lot of depth, unusual dark subject matters, but it's so funny and perfect narration. Cool, that sounds interesting. It sounds quite good, mates. Dustin's MC says, I recently completed Lars von Trier's Depression trilogy, Antichrist, Melancholia, and Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2. Now, I've only seen Antichrist, and it's fucking horrific, so I don't think I'll be watching the others. And also, the stuff that's in fucking Antichrist, holy shit. Fucking hell. That film is some fucking nasty shit in that movie. I'm just gonna ask this, Dustin's, does it live up to its name, the trilogy? Are you depressed after it? That's the question. Because I was pretty wrecked after Antichrist, I won't lie. Holy fuck. Sean says, even Saw 1 is so overrated to me. It's two guys in a bathroom I don't like. Two guys in a bathroom I don't like for 90 minutes. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. That's probably why I actually prefer Saw 2. I think Saw 2 is a more expansion on what Saw 1 did. And I still really think Saw 2 is really underrated. Dustin says, Antichrist is fucking brutal. Yeah, it is savage, man. Absolutely savage. Soph says, I love the first Saw film, first time watch, knew nothing, and it was shocking. Saw 2 is my favourite. Saw 2 is awesome. Love Saw 2. We have Radley Stark in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Radley. Appreciate it. Late to the party, so I missed what you watched recently. Should have done this stream earlier, mate. Yeah, it was a last minute thing. I'm terrible. Last minute streams, man. I get the feeling to do it, and I just do it last minute. I never, because I feel I always find if I ever plan something, I never actually commit. So it's usually it's got to be an impulse thing. It's got to be a spontaneous kind of thing. Jamie says, there was a man from Cosham who pulled out his balls to wash him. Fucking, I swear that's a Lee Evans thing, or it's probably like a really old thing that Lee Evans says. Jamie says, Saw 2 was my favourite. Yeah, so I think Saw 2 is the best. I think Saw 2 is definitely the best Bradley Stark says, I absolutely love the Saw movies. Wildly underrated franchise. Like I said, I said earlier, like 1 and 2, that's as far as it goes for me. Yeah. I thought 3 was okay. It's probably got the most horrific trap in the film, the rack. Horrible. Wouldn't want to be in it. It's fucking horrific. I just think once they kill off John Kramer, it just kind of just dives into just utter nonsense. Like, I didn't like the successor character. I just didn't like any of it after that, really. Like Saw 3 is okay. I probably could watch Saw 3 and be all right with it, but Saw 1 and 2 are just they're the tentpole of that franchise, and I don't think it's top those two. Personally. Where am I? Oh god. We have Big P33. Welcome to the stream, Al. Appreciate you joining. He says, "Hi sir. Hope you and Sophie are well. Currently watching the 4-disc DVD set of Critters. Picked it up at a 6 for a quid stall at Car Boot. Looks great, upscaled in 4K. I'll be in touch over the next couple of days." Awesome, man. That's cool. Critters. I fucking love Critters. You guys, if you're watching, you know my love for Critters. It's like one of my favorite franchises ever. The first film in particular is just top 2 favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love that first Critters movie. Dustin says, Antichrist is a horror film, Melancholy is a disaster film, and Nymphomaniac is a coming of age, all dark in nature, but Antichrist is the hardest watch of the 3. Yeah, Antichrist is fucking savage, man. Absolutely horrific in what it depicts in that film. Dustin also says, I've heard some stuff about a Serbian film. I don't know if I will watch or even own it. I've seen that, unfortunately, and it is one of the most fucking grotesque films ever made. It is vile. It contains... See, the history of the Serbian film is because basically the director got pissed off where in Serbia they were doing more politically correct stuff. Their films were more family orientated. They were toning down a lot of films in Serbia. So the director set out to make the most offensive movie ever made. He pretty much succeeds. The most vile, the most disgusting, grotesque movie ever made. And he definitely succeeds. That's why he called it a Serbian film, because it was a response to the Serbian film industry. But the film is literally, it crosses the biggest line for me, and that is sexual content towards, basically sexual stuff towards children. That's the whole movie. And it's fucking disgusting. And I wish I could erase that from my fucking mind, to be honest. It's vile. Yeah. So if that was the director's kind of mission, was to make the most fucking vile thing imaginable, they succeeded. Do I recommend anyone watch that movie? No. Definitely don't. It's fucking disgusting. The way it baffles me, these kind of movies that are really kind of crossing the line with really disgusting shit. Stuff like Cannibal Holocaust, I can fucking just like get over because it's just a cannibal movie. But like films like this that go over that line and involve children in the most fucking disgusting fucking plot points you can imagine. How these actors sign off on these fucking roles, I don't know, because it's just like all you got to do is read the synopsis, read the plot on Wikipedia, and you'll get an idea of what Serbian film is. It's fucking vile. I don't even know why I fucking sat and watched it. Maybe I was just to see how hard I am. I'm a hard, basically see how fucking tough I am or something. I don't know. It is fucking messed up as hell. And I don't recommend it at all. Sophie's Retro Revival says, why did I say her whole name like that? I'm weird. Soph says, would you like to share the piggy story? Oh, for fuck's sake. So Soph, she watched Saw 1 and 2, and she really didn't like the pig mask. The pig mask character when they kidnap people for the saw traps. And she woke up. Well, she didn't wake up. She was half asleep, and she was just saying, "No piggy, no piggy, no more piggy," and just like It's basically being terrified of the pig mask killer person from Saw. Quite hilarious, really. Radley Stark says, Jason, got a top tip for you. I know you like Frailty. Watch Fracture with Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling. Incredible movie. I've seen that about, you know. I've actually seen that about. I might pick that up then. I'll take your word for it, because Frailty is one of my favorite films ever. So definitely, if anything has that similar kind of tone and storytelling, I'm all up for it. So definitely up for that. Dr. Impossible says Von Trier is a nasty shit. He's got a massive hard on for himself as well. If you notice in his films, he's always like referring to like his own films, but like referring to them as like masterpieces. He's fucking weird. If you watch like the house that Jack built, he's fucking wanking himself off proper in that movie when it concerns his movies. That film's a really good film as well. It's messed up, but that's a really good movie. The house that Jack built. It's a really good film, but it's fucked up. So viewer discretion is definitely advised with that movie. Jamie says, saw 1 good, 2 great, 3 okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Pretty much how I feel, to be honest. Pretty much how I feel. Dr. Impossible says, Breaking the Waves was a fine film, though. Breaking the Waves. I don't know that one. I don't know. Is that a Von Trier one as well? Let me know, Dr. Impossible. Jamie says, Critters 1, amazing. Critters 2, amazing. 3, good. 4, shit. Now, I will say, Critters 1 is flawless. Critters 2 is great. Critters 3 is decent. Critters 4 is fine. I say fine solely because I've rewatched it recently and I didn't hate it. I quite liked the set design. I liked the characters. I think it would have been a really good movie if it wasn't a Critters film. And because it is a Critters film and we barely get Critters in it, that's what really detracts it for me. I still feel it had a lot of potential to be a really good movie, a really good sci-fi film, because it feels really, really good sci-fi. Like I said, the set design's cool. The plot's interesting, where you got, Ugg, he's become this fucking corporate just dickhead, and they want to get a carnivorous race that can self-replicate, basically mass breed them and drop them on planets. That sounds awesome. That's an awesome premise for a movie. If it wasn't Critters and they did it with something else, that's the plot of the film. Super corporation wants to breed high hostile creature and attack planets with them. If that could have become its own movie, I think it would have been really, really interesting. But because they settled for a Critters sequel and they barely had the titular, what you go to see a Critters film for, they barely had those in them. That's what hurt it for me. But everything surrounding that movie is really, really interesting and really promising. So my perspective has changed a lot over a couple of rewatches for that film. But it's just a shame that there's barely Critters in it. I will say though, Critters 4 is way better than Critters Attack. I rewatched that recently, and my perspective has definitely changed on that film. That film is fucking dog shit. Critters Attack is not good. Oh yeah, Soph says it. I love the 4 Critters films. Attacks can go in the bin. Yeah, Critters Attacks was not good. Dustin's MC says Critters is amazing. I have all 5 films. Yep, I love the first 3 mostly. Critters 4 is interesting as a sci-fi film and has a lot of promise. Attacks is really not good. Radley Stark says, agree with your sentiment. Antichrist, one moment in that movie stays with me forever in a bad way. Jamie says, a Serbian film is trash. Yep, the most vile, disgusting trash you could ever put out in your bin. Terence says, Saving Mr. Banks and Braveheart are offensive to me. Where did that come from? Maybe, I guess, I don't know about Saving Mr. Banks. I've not seen that film, but is it like they represent Scottish people incorrectly? I'm assuming. If you find it offensive, I don't know. I'm not Scottish, so I don't really know. Owl Big P33 says, mate of mine handed me the uncut Serbian film and told me to watch it without knowing anything about it. I'll never be able to unsee it. It is just fucking disgusting. It's absolutely just vile. You know, I'm not one for censorship. I'm not one for banning stuff. We're adults. We should, once you're an adult, no government or, you know, board of directors should tell you what to consume in terms of movies. To a point, if it's snuff films, yeah, fuck you. If it's a child porn, fuck you. But like, if it's a movie, if it's made by a studio, it's a movie. No matter how graphic, how violent it is, doesn't matter. We're adults. We should decide ourselves what we consume. Now, Serbian film exists. It's gross. It's vile. I would never watch it again. I would never ever recommend anyone to even sit through it once. But like, I would never go out there and go, this should never be made. This should be censored to all death. It should be banned. I would never go out and do that because I believe in freedom of artistic expression. And the way this director was going about it, it was a big middle finger to the Serbian movie industry. And with that in mind, he really succeeded in what he wanted to do. But unfortunately, it's one of the most fucking disgusting movies ever made. And I would never, ever, 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 ever tell people to watch it. Don't buy it. Don't watch it. Don't pirate it. Don't even go near it because it's fucking just the vilest of the vile. And moving on, we have Pro Physical Media, Nos in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Even all, last films are unique. I like them. Saw was great, but dwindled. Hoffman was fucking pathetic. Yeah, I didn't like that character at all. A Serbian film is a gross, disturbing masterpiece that does have real metaphor. Like I said, like I understand the motive behind the movie. I just feel it's just not something that I feel anyone needs to watch. It's just fucking disgusting. And I feel like if you enjoy that movie in any manner, especially with considering the subject matter of that film, there's something fucking wrong with you. That's all I'm going to say. Not to you, Nos, but just in general. If someone enjoys that movie, like generally says, "Oh yeah, this movie's great. I enjoy this," then something's seriously wrong because it's fucked up. It's disgusting. Dustin says, sadly, there is a 4K of Serbian film happening. I don't know who that's for. I don't know who would buy it. I don't get it, because that tells me there's a market for that film, and that should worry people because that film is fucking vile. So this is where I stand with the Serbian film. If it didn't have any of the child stuff in it, it would still be a vile movie, but it wouldn't be as offensive to me. I don't get offended very often with things, but when it concerns children and stuff like that, I get quite offended by it because I feel like you shouldn't be exposing children or bringing children into these kind of plot points that are actually disgusting. So I feel like a Serbian film, if it didn't have the stuff when it concerns children involved, and it was a similar story, but they took the children out and it wasn't to do with children, I think it still would have been disgusting and gross and brutal as hell, but it wouldn't be as bad. But because it has that stuff in it, and people are going to buy the 4K because there's a fucking market for it, that worries me, because either you've got these fucking nonces out there that want to fucking just buy it because it's got scenes like that in it, and that's disgusting. Terrence says, check out Curly Girl at the movies. She watches all the messed up movies. Nothing can faze her. See, there is a channel that I do watch. There's two channels I watch. One's called Big Will. He watches loads of disturbing movies, and also there's a channel that's really good called Spooky Rice. He watches all the messed up, fucked up movies as well. He goes through them. They're two really good channels, Big Will and Spooky Rice. I do recommend those channels. Al says, after watching the Serbian film, I felt like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura after kissing Finkel. You're going to feel something, that's for sure. Fucking hell. Oh, I don't think fucking 5 showers a day will make you feel clean after watching a Serbian film. Terence said, I would never watch Serbian film. It's trash. Yeah, don't watch it. Big P says, just wanted to jump in a shower and watch the memory of Serbian film. That's not going to happen, man. You can have 5 showers a day, but you're never going to watch that fucking film away. Soph says, my love, don't laugh at my pain of being scared, just like with the ending of Wreck and making you take me to the toilet. Fucking hell. Yeah, that happened. Jamie says, Jamie asks, Frailty, that's the Bill Paxton film, isn't it? About the dad killing in God's name or something very good. Fucking awesome movie. One of my favourites of all time. I actually adore that film. It's so good. So good. And it just makes me sad that we don't have Bill Paxton with us anymore, because he was such a good talent, such a great actor. And he directed Frailty, so he was also a fucking kick-ass director as well. Yeah, Terence, I've only read the synopsis of that film and it already has put me off. So yeah, that's one I'm not going to even bat an eyelid to. No thanks. Sean says, Saw 3 is the best. I will politely disagree, Sean. I think number 2 is the best. Dr. Impossible says, maybe the director's intentions was to make paedophilia acceptable. Sick fuck. Perhaps. That's why no one should fucking buy it. No one should watch it. It's fucking disgusting. It's actually fucking vile. Soph says, I am in love with Charlie from Critters. I think he's awesome. Speaking of the actor, Don Keith Opper, who played Charlie from Critters, he was in another film called Android. I think it came out before Critters. I think it was like 84. I think it came out, and that's a film I want to see because I quite like Don Keith Opper. It's a really hard name to say, but yeah, he's a pretty good actor, I think. Especially back then, he's let himself go now. You see him now, it's like, holy shit, what happened? Radley Stark said, Saw franchise is like Hellraiser franchise for me. I love them all, even the ones people hate. I am what I am. That's fair, man. That's fair. I wish I could. I just wish I could love them like you do, man. But I just don't. I haven't seen any Hellraiser film after the third one, so I can't really comment with that franchise, to be honest. Nos says, Critters 4, they did Arga wrong, and attacks just #nope. I understand what you mean. Bringing Arga back as the bad guy was a bit shitty, and have Charlie kill him is a bit shitty. There's loads of fan theories. There's loads of fan theories in the Critter community that if they're gonna like maybe do a sequel to Critters 4 with Charlie, an older Charlie and stuff like that, people are trying to say that they could bring Arga back and they can explain that the Ugg in Critters 4 was an imposter Ugg or whatever, and actually had the gang back together. That'd be pretty cool. Bradley Stark says, listening to Jason rolling off strong opinions about every movie mentioned, this is why he should do reviews. I did a review. I came back and did a review. Benny Loves You. It's great. You should go and watch it. It's fucking wonderful. Yeah, but I've got this idea for doing like Friday's review is going to be every Friday, called First View Friday. So it's going to be films I haven't seen before, and I'm going to do a review on them. Could be any random film that I want to watch. So this Friday is I'm reviewing Cannibal Holocaust. So look forward to that, guys. I've already explained my kind of thoughts on it in this stream, but I'm going to kind of more condense it down in the review. But yeah, I appreciate the sentiments though, man. I really do. That's really kind of you, dude. I'm just me. I just spat out what I think. There's no bullshit with me really. VHS, well, there's a lot of bullshit with me, but not when it concerns what I think about films. VHS Michael says, Critters rules. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see my little. Oh, where is it? Head move. Bloody mirrored. A little critter tile there. Dr. Paul says it was Jason. If it actually was the director's intention, then no one should be fucking buying any of his movies. Sick fucking cunt. Terrence says Black Venus is one of the most upsetting movies I've seen. Never heard of it, and I don't know whether I want to see it if it's the most upsetting film you've seen. Jamie says, off to bed, good night all. Take care, Jamie. I hope to speak to you soon. Have a good night. Sean Sheridan says, you like The Green Mile and The Mist. I found it a shame that director Frank Darabont, same guy who did Shawshank Redemption, did not do more movies. Great director. Do you know what? Fun fact: I've not actually seen the Shawshank Redemption. It's one of those big cult, big movies that everybody seems to love that I've not seen. I did buy the 4K, so I do plan to see it at some point. It might be in about 10 years, but I will actually get around to watching it at some point. I've got to be in the mood for that kind of film because I'm always in the mood for like weird, kind of quirky horror stuff. So I need to sit down and actually watch it. And I know it's a long film as well, so it's just finding the time. But yeah, that's one of the more kind of big popular movies that I've not seen is the Shawshank Redemption. But if the director had done The Mist and The Green Mile, then I know it's going to be good. The Mist is such a good film. I fucking love that movie. Terence says, Braveheart created an animosity towards English people that did not need to be there, and some folk politicized it. It's garbage. Oh, fucking hell. Interesting. That's crazy. That's madness. All that from a film. That's fucking mental. Sean Sheridan says, Human Centipede, that's one movie I refuse to watch. Nah. Strong opinion time. I'm going to defend Human Centipede. The reason why is it's a fucking damn good horror film. It's really good. People think it's super gross, but it's all the grossness is implied. You don't see any of it really. The most horrible bit that made me wince is there's a bit where the girl's like kind of like on the bed and she's got a drip inside her and she's trying to get away. She gets where it rips out of her arm, and that's the fucking you motherfucker. That is a bit that made me wince. The rest of it is implied, and I think with the human imagination, we all what we imagine is what we see on screen can never be as bad as what we imagine. So I think when stuff is implied, your brain fills in the gaps, and people think it's going to be this gross movie. But the concept is pretty gross. This German doctor surgically putting these three people together into this weird kind of human centipede. But I think as a horror film, it's so focused and so well done, and so just it's just so good. I just think it's just I defend that movie. I will defend it. However, I won't watch the sequels because I've heard the sequels just they amp up all the disturbing shit and get really fucked up. So I don't plan to watch the sequels whatsoever. But that first movie it's underrated. It's very good, and I will defend it until the end. That's how I feel about the Human Centipede. Jamie says Frank Darabont did do The Majestic after The Green Mile with Jim Carrey, a lovely film, highly underrated. Awesome. Oh shit! What the fuck's going on? All right, here we go. Sorry. Dr. Impossible says, "I'll agree with that, Terrence. Braveheart is utter crap. I'd rather watch Walt Disney's Rob Roy than subject myself to Braveheart. It's a highly divisive movie." I remember liking it when I saw it, but I've not watched it in years and years and years. But I digress. Sean Shona says, everything everywhere all at once. Not the easiest DVD to get hold of. I had to buy a German version. See, now, I was looking at eBay for the 4K of that. In America, they've got the 4K, and they want something like 45, 50 quid for the 4K. It's ridiculous money. Stupid fucking money. The Blu-ray isn't much cheaper on eBay, and I don't really buy DVDs very often, so I didn't look for the DVD. But it's a great film, though. Absolutely fucking awesome. I love that movie. Radley Stark says, great conversation going on here. Wish I wasn't so tired. Night all. Stay safe. Thanks for joining, Radley. Really do appreciate it. Hope you take care. Pro-physical media says, the political metaphor of the child scene and final scene is you are fucked from birth until after your death. That's how he sold it on the actors, and that scene is insinuated. You don't see anything. Yeah, the final scene is literally messed up. Like the last scene of that movie is implied, but there is loads of fucking disgusting scenes that are not implied whatsoever. That are straight up like, this is what they're doing, and it's just messed up. That film is just fucking gross, and I don't recommend anyone fucking watch it. Terence says, yes, I've been itching to do a full breakdown of my hatred for Braveheart. Yeah, like, you know, if that's what you want to do, then do it. Nah, come on, do it. Kill Braveheart, do it. Kill it now. Go. Do it. Jamie says, Identity was also underrated. Great film. John Cusack, Ray Liotta. Yeah, the Identity was really good, actually. Really underrated. I do agree there. The twist at the end is fucking awesome. Like the whole film is really, really well done. Highly recommend that movie. Good shout, Jamie. Really appreciate that shout. That's really cool. Prophet me said, I mean, I enjoy Braveheart, but I would love a breakdown. Terence says, Itchy the Killer messed me up, and I avoided audition for decades because of it, and that is a masterpiece. So this is the thing. One's a shit film, and the other one's a masterpiece. Like Itchy the Killer, I used to like it as a teenager. Rewatching it as an adult, it's a fucking shit movie. And really not good. Like, it's not a good film at all. Like Itchy the Killer is just not good now. I don't like it anyway on a rewatch. Audition is fucking fantastic. Fucking awful and terrifying, but it's fantastic. But yeah, Itchy the Killer, I couldn't believe how shit that film was on a rewatch. I was like, fuck me, this film is fucking dreadful. It's not good. It really isn't good. I think I got it on DVD, and I'm just like, this is bad. This is really bad. But yeah, Dr. Impossible says, same could be said of Gibson's Passion of the Christ. I've not seen it, but I've got no incentive to see it, to be honest. Terence says, hate the Passion with a passion. Terence also says Android is good, with Klaus Kinski. I can't say it. Oh my god, can't talk, guys. Dr. Impossible says hate's a strong word, but I could apply it doubly so with passion. Terence says Gibson is a great director, but so was D.W. Griffith. Terence says Cannibal Holocaust messed me up. See, like I did talk about it at the beginning of the stream, but I've got this DVD and it has the animal cruelty free version, so I didn't see any of the animal killing stuff, which is good. And I feel like the Reputation kind of ruined the film for me, because I was expecting something to be really, really fucking hard to watch and brutal, and I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was quite tame, in my opinion. I know other people might have a different opinion. It's all about how your threshold for violent media is, I suppose, but it was all right, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but I think it's well shot and it looks good, and the practical effects are pretty good, but not very convincing nowadays, if you get what I mean. Dodger Paul says, I'm split down the middle with Gibson. See, with Mel Gibson, I liked him as an actor. Like obviously, as a real person, he's a fucking dickhead. But like as an actor, I like, I really like him in Lethal Weapons. I really like him in Mad Max. I actually really like the Apocalypto movie he directed. A lot of people don't like that film, but I actually really quite liked it. That's where I stand. I've not seen Passion of the Christ. I could take it. I could take or leave Braveheart. I've not seen it in years. My favorite movie from Mel Gibson, when it concerns him being in it, is probably Payback. I think Payback's a great film. Really enjoy that one. Terrence says, Critters was my jam back in the 80s. I fucking love Critters, man. Really do love Critters. Professor Media says, my last words on a Serbian film. It was a social political attack on the government, not on the film industry. It was about those in power versus those that have none. I guess so. You probably sound like you know more than me, so I'm gonna say yeah, probably. But I watched a little kind of retrospect of it recently, and they were talking about it. It was like the director was pissed off that the film industry was going all soft and not really pushing the boundaries, and he wanted to have a response to that by making the most vile film ever. But I could see how that could be a political thing as well. Sean says, never seen Shawshank. Wow, need to watch it, mate. I know. Soph says, when I was in hospital, I turned over in bed and almost ripped my drips out. I had them in both arms. That was painful. Oh, fuck it, I bet. Nos says, Human Centipede 2 is the worst. The third is a joke. Again, I like all three. Like I said, I actually really like the first one, and I will defend it until the end, I suppose. Yep. Terence says, I need to go to sleep. Excellent stream, Jason. Good night, everyone. Take care, Terence. Thanks for joining the stream. Have a good night. Need to get you on my live at some point. Yeah, I'd love to do that, man. So let me know a time and a date and whatever, and we can figure it out. But yeah, take care, my friend. Big B33 says, fun fact, young William Wallace in Braveheart is all grown up and is a good friend of mine. More of a stage actor now. He also had a meeting with George Lucas, but had grown too tall to play Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's a cool little fun fact right there. Separation of art and artist is important. Not if they're a fucking paedophile, mate. Not if they're a fucking paedophile. That's where I stand there. Not if they're that. I don't give a fuck what they've made. You know, the guy who made fucking Jeepers Creepers fucking is a slag as well. Fucking scum nonce cunt. Don't want to fucking give him any money because he's a fucking nonce. He's a fucking paedophile bastard. Scum of the earth, man. So says, really enjoyed the stream. You have done great on your own. I try my best. I really do. Dodger Possible says, Payback is a great Gibson film. I fucking love that movie. I love that movie. So says, but you are missing me and I bring the people in. Nos says, last comment was about Gibson mainly. Sorry, I apologize. Because I thought you commented about the Serbian film, so I thought it was like an extension on that. My bad, but my sentiment still applies. It's hard to separate art from artist if they are exactly what I just said earlier. Anyway, with that being said, it's been a great stream, but I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, everyone that has joined the stream. 10 people watching. That's awesome. I've really enjoyed this conversation about messed up movies and other things. It's been really, really fun. Look forward to more videos on the channel. I do have First View Friday video coming up, and it's going to be about Cannibal Holocaust. Basically. Just look forward to those videos. Trying to get more streams in as well during the week or every couple of weeks or something like that. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining the stream. Really appreciate the conversation. It's been fun. Hope you're doing well. Hope next week isn't too strenuous for everybody. Have a good morning of your Monday, I suppose. And I will speak to you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.